Hello everyone. Today we have a very special guest with us, the giant, the Polish giant Alex Kurdecha, the future of arm wrestling. How are you doing, brother?
Hey, nice to see everybody. Thank you for watching us. I'm cool. Hope like you are.
So I'll try to ask 10 15 questions and all of them are going to be exciting and interesting. Alex's Instagram page and his YouTube channel will be linked in the description. So please go there and subscribe as well. And if you end up liking this interview, please consider liking the video and subscribing to my channel as well. Thanks. So first of all, thank you very much, brother. We tried to get an interview. I think it was somewhere around King of the Table, if I guess. And I asked you too late. It was during your match, and you promised that the interview is due. It will happen, and now it is happening. So let me first try to ask about your beginning. When you started arm wrestling, like what age were you at that time, and what was your body weight back then, and why did you start arm wrestling?
So first trying arm wrestling, it was in the high school. It was not on the professional table, and we actually even don't know the word of arm wrestling in that old times. We like just doing this in our weird way, with checking a pure power who is the strongest guy of the class. And I was the strongest guy of the class. And I remember the one of my friends asked me, Alex, maybe you will pull with the guy who is actually two classes older than you, and he is also the strongest guy of the class. Can you try? I said, no, why not? Let's go. I remember that day because all my class was cheering me, like, Alex, come on, you can do it. And of course, that guy was 2 years older. He was like bigger, and his classmates also cheering him. It was like class versus class, and it was absolutely cool. I remember I won that match, and it was my like first memory of trying arm wrestling, and like it was very cool for the feelings. It was absolutely cool. I even now I remember how I feel myself that day. So it was awesome. And if I need to say about like arm wrestling, like we see it nowadays in the professional table, in the students' years, and probably I was already trying something and won some student competition. And later I have a break. I go to another sport. I come back to the championship because guys just to invite me to some motor show, like big expo with the cars, with bikes and something. And it was also like some small competitions for everyone who wants to take part. And I just go there and I won. And guys say you already won the strongest guy in the Poland, so you were probably have some possibilities to trying it more. And they involved me to try it more, and that was the beginning. Like, and I remember after that I go for some championships, and I don't take the first place or second or third. It was like lack of technique, lack of everything, but big desire and big passion, of course. And my first cup of the Polish National Cup when I won left and right, it was 2017. So from 2017, like I'm going to the gym not just for train myself, but already trying to do something special for arm wrestling.
Hmm. So which one felt better? First time becoming the champion of your school or beating Ermes Gasparini 6-0?
Probably good question. But honestly, honestly, guys, because when you're a child, that victory
Yeah.
is like everything for you.
Yeah, yeah.
And also even everything for your classmates. Like they cheering you like nobody else, it's very magic feelings.
Yeah. In my school, I was also like that. There was one guy who I cannot beat with my right arm. So somehow he knew the top roll technique back then. I was not aware of it. So by the time the someone said go, he was already holding me by my fingers. And at that time, you cannot really complain about someone cheating or anything. So he literally used to
Yeah.
arm wrestle me with my fingers and then beat me. Then I used to challenge him on the left arm. I used to grab him from like literally from the wrist, so he cannot top roll me, and I used to beat him easily. But I cannot do that on the right arm. Right was not that strong enough. So that was one victory that I would love to have love to get back then. I can beat him right now easily, no problem. But that was something missing back in the day, and that would have been
Yeah,
one of my biggest
yeah,
victories. Yeah,
definitely.
it feels really proud.
Yeah, I think every one of us have some beautiful memories in our head, like when it was first time or something you just watch it impress you too much. For me, it was like I was absolutely in the process, and I was really, really amazed, and I remember that feelings.
Yeah. So I made a community post that people can give questions that they want to ask you. And one of the most famous question was, where have you been? Why is Alex not arm wrestling? Because this is the golden era of arm wrestling. Like we have never seen that many matches ever. So do you think you kind of missed out on that? And what was the reason of you not competing enough? Because we saw you in two super matches after the COVID time, I think.
Yeah, I agree with you. So it was before after COVID, it was like Arnold Classic with Ryan SP, left and right.
Yeah.
After that, Tobias Sporung. After that, Ermes. And after that, I go to with seminars to the United Kingdom, to the Canada, some and other countries. It was beautiful time. Thank you all, guys. I like always remember the times where you go to the people who also love the same things which you love. It's absolutely fuel of the happiness when you go and meet with such a people. And after that, we have planned match with Vitaly. Of course, it was postponed and due to the reasons which you all know. And after that, I'm going to rest, but I got the proposal to pull with Dave. And of course, it King of the Table. So I go to pull with Dave, lose with him weirdly. It was a nice and beautiful lesson for me. And after that, I have the match with Cody West, and after that, Big Rick in Canada. Actually, in Canada in September, it was more time, honestly, even with guys from clubs and especially high hookers clubs and arm and dangerous clubs and Devon played. So it was really, really, really nice time. And after that, I'm going like a guest and plan actually to pull even left arm because left was really, really missing to pull somewhere, anywhere actually. And
Yeah.
because at the beginning in the East versus West and the King of the Table, we have no left-handed matches. Now we have, and it's beautiful. And after that, it was the plan to go, like I said, with Artyom. It was because already was something settled previous like edition and just he take the pause, so I think this okay. I also will take the pause, and it's like only the pause before the storm. It's only the stop before the storm, guys, because I'm agree absolutely. We have very amazing time of our wrestling now. Actually, we have so many beautiful possibilities. We have East versus West, which is amazing. Like,
Yeah.
I recommend to everyone. We have King of the Table. We have a lot of platforms, which is eliminations in Dubai, eliminations to King of the Table. In different countries, we have eliminations to East versus West. Also, Canada, growing up with arm wrestling, and guys from USA, and I've been in the Texas. And also with the seminar and being there like a guest, and it was really, really pleasurable, and it was amazing time. So I know now that everywhere arm wrestling is growing up. I agree with you, and
Yeah.
absolutely wants to join this party, and soon I will.
Yeah.
Like I said, I have big plans to make some good comeback.
Yeah. And basically, I think, like you reminded us, all of the matches that you have had, basically, everyone is saying this maybe because you haven't competed at East versus West, which is the biggest platform for now. Because you mentioned that you beat Ryan SP 6-0 on both arms, and Ermes Gasperini 6-0, Tobias Sporong 6-0, Corey West 3-1, 3-1, I think it was. And
3-0.
yeah,
Where
3-0.
one it was
Foul.
four.
Yeah, first one was foul. First one was foul
Yeah.
from Corey. Yeah, 3-0. I forgot. Rick Heidelbrett, you beat 6-0. And am I missing
Yeah.
any other match?
With Dave, I lose
Dave. Yeah, Dave.
6-0.
Yeah, 5-1.
Yeah.
5-1. This time you're missing one pin.
Yeah,
Okay.
like I said about Dave, and also I said that one was a very good lesson.
Yeah.
Sometimes match which you are not won gives you more than some matches which
Yeah.
you are really won.
I have a separate question about Dave Chaffee match. We will ask that later on. So before that, brother, let me ask you about your training. Like when you faced Ongarbayev and Krasimir, both of them were like match of the year, like best matches that we have ever seen. And you lost in like both of them. I think you lost 4 pins to 3, if I remember. 4 pins, 4-3, if I remember correctly.
4-3 to Krasi, and I don't remember which was Vincent Garbayev, but it was very, very like same style of
Yeah.
my pulling.
So
It was
at that time, people were saying that Alex's weakness is exposed because that was your weakness at that time. If somebody stops you with a broken wrist and he pushes you, and in this position you were kind of vulnerable. That's how you lost. So did you change anything after that in your training? Like, is it
yeah.
still a weakness? Are you working on it?
Honestly, like after that, I have this break because of pandemia before my second match with like not second, but okay, match with the Ryan and also with Tobias. And I have a big time between these matches between like Krasi and Ryan. So it was big preparation exactly in that moment. So it was rotators of the shoulder. It was like a lot of side and back because you need to have a power of the wrist, but also you need to be able to control the center. It gives you a lot of possibilities to use the vectors of your strengths. And of course, it was like, in the beginning, I was just sometimes don't know what is more important in the preparation. Like I was honestly trained more like gym guy, you know. So I was have some my favorite exercise and something which is near to arm wrestling trainings, but for now I even don't call that training like arm wrestling trainings. It was like more, you know, powerliftings combines with some weird trainings of the arms. But after, when you ask yourself how to become stronger and what is your weakness, and you trying to find the answer, this can be the key for you. And that's why it's cool when you pull with somebody who is stronger, or when you lose and you lose because of some reason. Because sometimes you're just not enough powerful and you just become more powerful. But sometimes, for example, you have good wrists, good fingers, good side pressure, but for example, lack of back pressure. Or you have back pressure, but lack of side pressure. And or sometimes you just lose the start and you need to do something not to lose the start. So I believe that to be good in arm wrestling, it's to know your body possibilities and know how to use it and know how to train it. When you know how to train properly your main weapon and not be with kind of weaknesses, which is just makes you impossible to win, you will be very good in arm wrestling.
Yeah. So my next question is, and in this question, I'm going to slightly put you on the back foot. Let's see what defense, if you are going to attack or defend. It's an interesting question. So let's talk about the Devon-led practice pulls that you had during your match with Rick Heiderberg in Canada. So first of all, at that time, we can understand I think Devon was scheduled to have a match with Levan. I guess, was it before the Levan match?
After, because we pull up immediately after Levan match only on the left, because on right he was injured and the left he was not trained, so I don't even count that day. It was immediately after, because me and Corey was the same day with Devon and Levan. And when I go to the Canada with I have like a match with Rick, but we practice a lot with Devon, and Devon plays, so he was already trained and tells me that he was okay, but I was not sure, for example, because, you know, Devon always is okay, but I was not sure, for example, before Prudnik match, he will be in a good shape or not. And I remember when I meet him in the East versus West, I was the guest there, in the big pleasure to Engin Terzi, who invites me there. And I meet Devon there and ask him, are you ready? Like in the real? He says me, oh yeah, I'm ready in the real. So with Prudnik, it was I think some kind of surprise for everyone that Devon was able to control as much as he was able, and he just shown our like old good Devon legend version. So yeah.
Yeah. So I think you posted the video in September. So it was about maybe 2 months after Devon versus
Uh,
Levan.
I'm not sure, but something like that. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So the big question that everyone was asking, we saw that you beat Devon like almost 15 times on the left arm, and then he was able to stop you in the practice because of his endurance. There are people saying, I've also heard rumors that you guys pulled right-handed as well, but you did not show the footage. I know it is true. I know it is true. That's why I was saying that I'm going to put you on the back foot and let's see if you defend or attack from there. So what is your reply to that question that you guys were hiding right-handed practice pull, and did it
Yes,
happen?
guys, we are pull rightly. Everyone knows it, but like if Devon wants to publish that video, I'm probably okay with this because I always agree with Devon. But guys, just remember that sometimes we are really want to check something special. It's like that kind of secret practice. It was only maybe 10 people there inside in the place. We just take the table to the special room and go there. And I was asking Devon to defeat me. I was interested. I just asked him, you need to defeat me. I want you do something special tricks like you do with Levan when he's trying to do that. And it was really really cool practice for me, and I believe for Devon also. So about the results, I don't want to say because it's not only about my results but also results of Devon. But about effectiveness of that practice, it was amazing. And I believe that it's not cool to publish that video because, for example, it was training practice.
Yeah.
Remember, guys, that training practice, actually, it's only training practice, but
Yeah.
guys who watching it always make the prediction based on it.
Yeah.
And if you will be analyzing Devon practice video, he always led to guys to trying a lot of things, and he absolutely not afraid to lose because he don't have a problem with the ego. He's a beautiful person, and that's why he's okay to open the gate to bigger wrestling road to new guys. And if you will be analyzing him by his practice session, it will be absolutely opposite result if you will be analyzing Devon in the real matches. So I recommend you to check the level of athletes in the official competition. But in the practice, of course, guys can check everything. For example, guys who are not hook can pull in the hook. Guys who are not top rowers, they can check some top row versus hook or something like that.
So you mentioned some things that first of all you said Devon always allows people to get good position and then arm wrestle, and you also mentioned that you asked Devon to try to beat you. This shows that he was not able to stop you before that. I think I can. So let me quickly ask some questions and then we will figure out without you answering we can get to the conclusion. How many times did you guys pull? Do you have any like guess a number like how many times would you pull or how much for how much
In
duration
the
on the
first
right?
day, we pull like 1 hour left probably and right. After that, we go to take a walk. After that, we come back and try and freedom arm wrestling. Also left and right. I don't remember. I'm not sure. It was funny version of arm wrestling, which I was
Yeah.
enjoyed. And after that, next day on the practice place with high hookers, we also no. First day was only left. I remember because I have the match. So
Yeah, yeah.
right was only after the match.
Yeah.
So at the beginning it was only left,
Only left.
and after my match with Rick, we goes full on the right.
Yeah. So I will not bother you even like much more about this. One final question. Was it closer on the right arm than the left arm?
It's tricky question, my friend. Okay, I will answer in that way. Honestly, guys, Devon is very good left and right, all kinds of
Yeah.
technique use. And like he said to me, which I absolutely agree, all of us have different gifts. Some of us have gifts in the explosive power and the real big, power of some movement.
Yeah.
Some guys have more endurance. Some guys very flexible and sensitive by the techniques. They always able to make the best setup and also to make for you not best setup. So Devon, it's a guy who is actually the face of our wrestling, according to me, because if you ask him about everything. He's the guy who understands all the things which is important in arm wrestling, and he is really passionate for that. So, he's really love it, really. I mean, like very big love for arm wrestling in Devon heart. It's absolutely. Also, you have sometimes you just see it in their eyes of the guys. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. So usually I think that we can make lot of guesses from practice pulls, but this one was not really that good because Devon, as you said, doesn't really train his left arm, and on the right he got injured with Levan, so he was not 100% on the right as well. So maybe I think then considering that, it was a good option not to release that video. But if Devon was 100%, then it would have been really good to compare you two guys. So okay, let's talk about the next match, Dave Chaffee match. Before when that match was announced, Vitaly was replaced with Dave. I predicted that Alex is going to beat Dave Chaffee 6-0. That was my prediction in the video. And I said like how this match is going to go. The match is going to stop in center. Alex will take Dave's wrist, and then Dave will force Alex to the side with the side pressure. Then Alex will go into the King's move and he will beat Dave Chaffee. So the first round was going exactly like that. I was like, yes, my prediction is going to be right. It was going exactly like that. But then Dave's side pressure was too much. You were not able to stop him. So what do you think you have to say about this match?
First of all, I need to be honest with you guys because you deserve it. Like I said before, the match, even with Vitaly, I was going like go to the rest, because sometimes you go into train full like every second day and you spend a lot of times on the training process. Of course, you love it, but sometimes you need to spend the time with your family, friends, and also your job full time if you have. And that time, I remember that firstly match was cancelled, and after that it was like replacement Vitaly and Dave. And Dave always never find any excuse when he lose or when he won. So I will do the same. Some guys, which is near to me, know the reasons of my shape that day. But if I need to analyze that day shape and that day fight, it was like Dave was too strong for me of that day by side. And he was very good on the wrist control, and like you said, I was going to King's move, but it was not allowed. It was not like I was planning to go to King's move. It was honestly, now a lot of guys know it, and I think they will not be sad if I say it, because it's like small things which is not comfortable for Dave. It's like goes automatically, because if you just trying to do all you can, he can be stuck in that position when you like King's moves versus him. But in the first round, I have like 2 falls, and I have lose because he not pinned me in the first round. I just had 2 falls, and he won. Second, we was struggling, but it was like the same. And from the third, it was like not too much offering from my side. Dave was really good compared to me in that day.
And I don't know, brother, if you realize this or not, you were able to, yes, of course, you know that you were able to slightly take Dave's wrist in the first round. You had good pronation in the first round. And you are one of the only 2 or 3 guys in the world who was able to take Dave's wrist in the center. No one else does that. Even when Ermes beat him, he brought him back from there.
I'm happy that you mentioned it.
Yeah.
I'm happy that you mentioned it.
Levan Saginashvili did that, and Michael Todd did that in WL. And I don't know why people do not really consider any of Michael's win over Dave Chaffee. They're like, yeah, it is King's move, it is not counting. But Michael was also able to do that. He needed some time to crack Dave's wrist. It was like almost 10, 15, 20 seconds. You did it right straight away. I think so. You and Levan, you are the only 2 guys on this planet that I've seen take Dave's wrist in the center.
That's why I was really interested, because it was, sometimes you need the water splash, like Levan on the last matches. You need something, because you are go somewhere, you won 6-0, 6-0, and sometimes the match when you are underdog, it's so cool to you because you go and you are motivated. And sometimes you know that you are already sitting somewhere in the rankings, and you just go, even if you lose, you just go 1 point under. But if your opponent lose couple times, you can go out of the 10. So it's the truth, and we need guys to remember that. But yes, that's why I was remember I was really, really motivated to have the rematch with Dave, but absolutely it's need to be interested for the viewers. So we decided, did it a little bit later. After that, we have the match with Corey, and I remember that Dave has a match with Gennady probably. Firstly, with Gennady, after that with Morozov. And Gennady was he was able to open the weaknesses of Dave in the round number 3, I believe. So it was like the thing which was also Dave need to fix, and he actually, I believe, fix at least on some level. But of course, sometimes everything happens. Just remember, guys, that it always depends from level of how interested you just to go, or you go like for your 100% shape, and you want to kill somebody there, you want to win, or you just have these matches like the planning, the series of the matches, and for example, one of them is very important for you, and the rest of them also are cool, but more like the practice or checking yourself how good you are.
Yeah. So that was an amazing match. Do you think it can go differently? Like since that Dave Chaffee match, how hard have you been training? Like, are you kind of off season, or are you really training?
Like I said, if I will be say that I was weak, it will be the the things which guys say some stories about your shape, and I don't want to do this. But of course, honestly, I was too weak that day. Too weak.
Yeah. Now you're
so
stronger.
It was in the positions when you need to count on your power, and you don't have the power which you usually have. So you can go to, after like I did, you can go to the gym and check something, and it's it's not too good. But this kind of lessons we need. Sometimes we need to be like serious, because we already not the amateurs, and when you go to the big stage, you need to represent your best shape. And sometimes you just need to wait, or to take the match and take it seriously for 100%.
And the most famous question, your match with Ermes Gasparini. People are saying that you beat Ermes 6-0 and Levan was not able to beat Ermes 6-0. What do you think about first of all, tell us something about the match, the previous match that you had with Ermes, and do you think you can still beat even this version of Ermes Gasparini, and are you looking for a rematch, or is Ermes looking for a rematch? That's what I should say.
So, like, guys, remember that it always depends from the opponents, not about only the styles. The main thing, it's a power. But I believe that Levan was watching the match, my and Hermes, and won't count. It was counting too much on some movements, and not was trained too much extra things, which is also useful during the match. Before me versus Hermes, I have 2 matches like in the short term, so I was in a very good shape, honestly, and I was really extremely motivated, because like it was like 90% put the victory on Hermes, and only 10 on me, so nobody was believing in me. I was really, really motivated. I was honestly training hard the days, and even I watching my face. Sometimes I even just watching my face, not my shape. My face on that match, my eyes on that match was absolutely special. That was not some kind of matches which I won or not won, but in the rest of matches was not the same. And Hermes was also taking a good lesson after that day. Yeah, like for me with Dave, sometimes every one of us need this kind of lessons. And I remember I was said to him about it, so not to be sad or take these emotions of the losers, because losers teach us more than victories if we are good students. And he was training hard after, he was really motivated. And I believe that he deserved the position ranking 2 during to his victories. And he actually now shown the toughest match for Levan in the Levan professional career. No one else shown that that level. So about my shape, if of course I will be motivated, and for example, Ermes will be the guy number one, which I want to pull with. He's a good friend of mine, but of course I will go and it will be the same motivation. So I love when I'm underdog. But for now, I know that Hermes wants to take some rest and after that come back. I don't know. For example, he wants to little bit rest. He don't. I don't know. He wants to go to pull with Jerry or with revanche with Levan or something else. We now honestly have so much cool possibilities to pull. So when you're ready, you can go. You like immediately. If you're like top 10 guy, top 5 guy, you're always interested for people.
Yeah. And so you recently, few months ago, you practice pulled with Hermes, and in that pull, he was kind of looking dominant against you. So what was your shape during that time?
We actually pulled, have practice pull a lot of times. First, it was in the Belgium, and I was on the preparation for the match with Corey West, and I was not interested to just go and pull for 100% because it takes the time of the preparation. When you have preparation, you have like 50%, 50, 50, 60, 70, and after break, like 1 week or maybe 10 days, depends. And after that, you have the super match, yeah?
Yeah.
So I remember that I was not want to stop my preparation process, and I goes like little bit tired, honestly. That's the honestly, Armwrestlers understand me what I mean.
Yeah.
Evgeny was like in off season. Generally, he was not in the preparation for anything, so he was just resting. And that day, Ermes was very good. He was training. He was in a good shape. So I was even not want to check my right for 100%. I was checking something and says to him that he's good in that position, but I was not interested to defeat him or do something what I can to do. On left, we also have some matches. On the left, we pulled like really. It was a couple of funny matches. But on the right, because I have the super match, I was concentrated on the super match with Corey because it was king of the table, and I don't want to take it not serious because previously I was already lose with Dave.
Yeah.
So it was first time. In Turkey, it was the second time. We also practice. I don't know to remember we have this openly or not. But it was not the same like in Belgium. It was not the same, definitely. And also, I remember we practiced on the Dubai, but he has left-handed match and I has right-handed match. So I was nothing after my match with Dave, and he was like tired even from his left. So it was we just do for fun. Like he was really painful on left since he don't want to pull left. I was really even also painful on the right, but I say, come on, maybe do it right.
Yeah,
and he goes, but I was nothing on the right. It was very funny. It was more joking, honestly, than a real pull. But we was there, so we trying to pull, of course.
Yeah.
And if I need to compare the Hermes level, he like improve something. He become bigger, but not too much. But I believe that he do the good things in the trainings. He starting to do good things in the trainings. And he improved actually before the Levan match, very needed things. Because after the match with Dave, I was not sure. I told to him, I was cheering him very, very, very much in the day. But I said to him to work something because after that match, I was not sure it will be easier with Levan, because Levan won with Dave in that manner. And it's good that Hermes take it 100% serious, very good homework, and that's the result. Yeah. Hard work is paid off. So, yeah, now he's absolutely deserved number 2.
I think Alex in July for sure he's going to face Jerry, and after that Ermes said that he wants to have a rematch with Levan later this year. or most probably early part of next year. So I think if you can ask, if you are someone like, there are some athletes who are like, I will not ask any promoter for a match. If he invites me, then I will go. But if you can ask someone, if or either Engin or King of the Table, then maybe during that time between Jerry and if he wants a Levan rematch, let's say next year, there is a good 7-8 months time. I think there is a possibility for your match, and you both have the reasons. Like, there are many people saying that Alex would still beat Ermes, and there are some people who are saying that no, Alex cannot beat Ermes. So you have something to prove that you can do it again. And Ermes, of course, he should get the revenge. Like, he just cannot skip forward without actually beating.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely, we have too much possibilities of matches and all of them are interested. If you ask me, for example, I will be interested in the match with Dave, absolutely yes.
Yeah.
Even like a viewer, for example, Dave and Gennady, I also want to show the rematch. I'm interested, it will be the same or different, because guys already know something about their weaknesses and their power, so it can be different. Also, the match between Morozov and Dave and Artyom have a big, good results in this year. So he was improved. And for me, of course, also left-handed match, because he also pulled left, and I was interested in left-handed match. Like I said, my left is missing something, some good match. And I think it's also a good possibility. Now we have the rising star like Tobias on the left. He's even stronger than right. On the right, we have Jerry, we have Ermes, we have Artyom Morozov, we have Dave, of course, Devon, of course. I think a lot of cool guys, which I want to pull.
Yeah, yeah. And if that rematch happens with Hermes, I think there is a good chance that you may still be able to top roll Hermes. But the thing that he has changed from the time he faced you and now is that before, when you faced him, if somebody top rolls Hermes, his arm goes down. Like, it was always like that. You top rolled him, Matt Mass top rolled him, he loses. But now, even if you top roll him, there is a chance that he can still top roll you. So that will definitely be
Yeah,
different this time.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So another famous question, popular question, your practice pull with Denis Cyplenkov. Like, what was the condition here? Because what I saw and what I've always seen with Denis Cyplenkov, Denis is more easy in the setup during actual matches. When there is a super match, he is relaxed, he's not fighting for the grip. But when Denis is practice pulling, he'll take everything from you or anyone else. Like, did you also notice such thing? Like, what was the setup like when you pulled with Denis?
Guys, it was, remember, it was for fun and for practice. So he was interested to check something, yeah? And I also want to check something. We was not interested to go 100% from the start and, just I can beat him one shot or not. On the right, I was not worried about if he goes inside too much or take the center or take the front. I want just to feel his power, and even on his field, for example, in slow arm wrestling. I remember that I checked twice on the right, and honestly, I believe that Denis now probably better than before. Not in his power, but in his mindset, in his style. He's now becoming like a Larratt style puller. I mean, he's very, very good in position where he needs just to hold you, and in the moment when he needs to go back with you. So I remember that I was want to check on the right in that way, and I was like interested, and he shows me his power. I was really happy to check it, because it's a Denis. Even Denis not in the prime, it's a Denis. On the left, he was saying that he was not trained left too much, but in my set of mine, left of Denis is something special. I never remember that he lose something on left, even on the practice sessions, like for guys who are top level on his left, it was not too much. I remember only Vitaly, when Vitaly was on the absolutely top,
Yeah.
and then it was not training and all. Vitaly was able to do something with Denis, and he was stronger. But it was the huge difference. It was a huge gap. But for me, I asked him about also left. And on the left, I was maybe not so polite. I'm sorry about that, but I was interested because on the right, of course, I already know how he and his field. On the left, I want to check my my field. Yes, so I think it was useful for him and for me. It's something which you are interested to check, which is not impossible to do on the gym, but you need to take the sparring partner and check on the table. So I think it was useful for him and for me. But honestly, after that day, I put him on the favorite versus John, like in big favorite,
Yeah.
Even with huge respect to John, because John is amazing, but I was thinking that probably it will be very hard match for John, which was like the same after I see what I was expected to see.
Cyplenkov's back pressure is looking awesome. Like he was just as soon as the match started, he went like this against John Brzezinski, and even in all of the John super matches, nobody was able to do that to John in the first round. Even Devon was like this. He went outside with John, but Denis was like straight away he's able to pull John. So
Yeah.
his back pressure is amazing. And people were asking that you have pulled Dave, you have pulled Ermes, you have pulled Denis Cyplenkov. So where would you put them right now? Like who is stronger? Like ranking, where would you put these two? Who is the strongest now?
It will be two answers. First answers, I will give my feelings in the day when I pull with the guys, yeah? And second, it will be like with the base of results and all the results of these guys. For official like results and what we can expect from all of the guys, I put Hermes now higher, yeah? Between Dave and Denis, it's so interesting question that I don't know, maybe you understand how interesting this question for me. Because if I need to compare, even I was not on the like checking 100% of the power, but their power was really similar, and for me, I believe that Denis' style can be very uncomfortable for Dave. I'm not sure it will be enough Dave horsepower from the start to finish the match or not. I'm not sure about that. So I put two guys on some equal level, and I will put probably Hermes higher due to his results, not on the practice with me, but with the Levan.
I would also love to see the Dave Chaffee versus Denis super match, because Dave was almost always beating Dave. Denis was always beating Dave Chaffee, but Dave was able to get one win on fouls
Yeah,
over Denis.
yeah.
Right now, I think the super match can be close. And Denis is arm wrestling Devon in October, but somehow, if Core Sports, King of the Table, or Engin Terzi is able to convince Denis to have another match, I think in July it can be a perfect match. Denis Cyplenkov versus Dave Chaffee. We would love to see that. My next question is
Yeah,
about.
I
Yeah,
believe.
please go
I
ahead.
believe it will be very interesting, and I agree with you.
Yeah. My next question is about Michael Todd. There was, so I heard from Engin, I think it was, or Michael also mentioned it in his live stream. There was a match that was supposed to happen between you two. So why didn't it happen? And when are we talking about? Like, was it 1 year ago or less than that?
1 year ago, honestly, Mikey was very, very high rankings athletes, and he was interested for everyone, not only for me. And I remember that even it was planned on Arm Wars, like a potential match. And after the match of Michael versus Gennady, they what was the change in the rankings, and they changed their plans. After that was like possibility to go in the East versus West, but I don't remember. Some guys was more interested than we are, because sometimes you need to have two guys who has the list of priorities, yeah. And if list of priorities starts from their name, so they go first, yeah. Some guys go second, some guys go third, and I remember that it was only that reason. Like we have different another proposals, so that's why we don't have the match. But I know that Michael's styles is weird, but I always respect Michael's styles because he put his health versus lose. So for him it was like broken arm or win, never lose. He was pulling in that weird style but effective style. And unfortunately, know we now that he has problems with health
Yes.
with biceps. I wish him fast recovery, and I hope he will back. But that's professional sport shows that sometimes you just get injured and that's it.
Yeah. And now I'll ask you about top 5 rankings. Right arm everybody discusses, but because right is getting the rankings on right are getting more and more clear every month as more and more people are competing. But on the left still it is not that much clear. So who would you have?
Exactly.
Yeah, who would you have top 5? First I'll give you my opinion, and my opinion is that there are 4 guys in the top of the world for now for me. David Dadikyan, Artyom Morozov, you and Vitali. I consider these as the like top tier guys on the left arm. And to me, if you ask me, anyone can beat anyone in these 4. And after that, I consider guys like Alijan Muratov, Cody Spurmerit, and Tobias Sporong maybe. These are the guys that I consider. So give me your top 5 rankings in the world, including you. You have to for sure include
Okay,
yourself.
so we will start from the left.
Yeah.
For now, we have, and remember that Levan don't want to take part because of
Yeah.
the injuries. He's now not interested. So I will put Vitaly. I will put Morozov. Morozov now pull a lot, so he deserved the first place. And in the pretender, I also put the Tobias. Why I will explain you, because the match with Tobias and Morozov, Morozov was on the fast call. He was not planning. I remember he was like change somebody who was injured or get COVID. I don't remember who was, but Tobias was on the fast call, so he was not on a long preparation for that match, and he have one pin at least. I don't remember if you remember between Tobias and Morozov.
One
So
pin.
I also add Tobias on the left. I know he's good on the list. So we have Morozov, Vitaly, Tobias. Dadikyan was very amazing, and if he fix his injuries, which he get with Morozov, he will be absolutely there. And who else? Maybe one guy from Poland.
So who is number 1? I need like rankings. Who is number 1 and who is number 5?
Guys, official number 1 is Morozov for now. So we two, Tali or the first guy who improved and who like deserved the place number 1 is guy who always the pull and official number 1. So it's Morozov for now. In the future, everything can be changed, because remember that if we check, for example, rankings of left or right for today and rankings 1 year ago, only Levan has like nothing changed on his first place. But even now, I think he's a little bit worried about his last result and he wants to plan to change something. But the rest of the guys on the list, today A can won with B, but tomorrow B can won with A. So this I mean. And go to the right. First is Levan, second is Ermes. After that, I will put Jerry because of his dangerous style for the rest of athletes. After that, I will put together Morozov, Devon, Dave, and probably Gennady.
And
I
a
will
guy
put
from Poland.
maybe I will put these guys together because, like I said, we just need more matches and maybe little another kind of point system to make it more clear. Because sometimes, like I said, we need to know, like we have a lot of matches, and sometimes guys goes just because they want to take part in competitions, but they not like was in a short call or not have enough time or just have something just want to enjoy the party.
Right. Yeah, the rankings that you just mentioned, I checked Access Sports rankings, and these are almost the same. And you were mentioning that the results can change from day to day, and not only that, the results can change from format to format. Like if Dadikyan versus Morozov happened at East versus West, we would be
Mhm.
talking about how dominant Dadikyan is, because first 3 rounds he hooked him, he top rolled him. He was like literally playing with Artyom Morozov. If that was a East versus West match, it ended 3-0. We would be saying, wow, nobody can touch David Dadikyan. He's
Guys,
that much more
in this
dominant.
case, I need to not agree. Why? I will explain. Because when guys go to the arm fight super
Yeah,
match,
yeah, I know.
they already plan everything and they know where they go. Even, for example, you have not 100% of your power, but you count on your technique or your endurance, or you have plan B, plan C, always. And if you go to the match where you need and you have possibility to check your opponent at least first 4 rounds, because if it's 6 rounds format and fight, you need won at least 4 times. So you need to be sure that you can won 4 times. If you won 4 times in 5, 6, you can check something, a hook or triceps or something which you need, you want to check because you're already winner. But you need to win 4 times. And that's why, for example, if you go into the East versus West, you know that 3 times is already enough.
Yeah.
So it's not the same. It's not the same because in the East versus West, it's faster and it's more about fast recovery and pure power. And 6 round matches, it's also about endurance. It's hardly, and I believe that 6 round matches more interested, but it's more hard and tough matches. So that's why you remember, guys, that Vitaly has health issues after the match. Levan also has during, he was like wants to win 4-0, and after that he knows that he won, and he was thinking about his health, and it's absolutely normal that guys thinking about his health and sometimes stop the matches, because in Dubai a lot of guys, if somebody have some injuries like Cody West was have with me, or some guys have in the matches, they stop the match because they already know the result. So the arm wrestlers, they know the rules and they know how many rounds they need to win. When they won, everything after, it's something else. For example, so remember the difference between 6-round matches and when you just need to 3-0 or 3-2, you already won, because Dave won on East versus West 2 first rounds with Morozov and 2 rounds with Gennady.
Yeah.
And after, it was something not enough. So absolutely the same like guys on the King of the Table rules. When they pull, it's more hard. Its result can be different. So I mean that we need to remember that athletes know how much rounds they need to spend to win.
So I think that's a perfect transition to the next question. Which one do you think is a better format? Best of 7, which we have not seen yet in many organizations, where if you win 4 rounds, 4-0, the match is over. Or 6 rounds format where you still have to keep pulling even after you win 4-0. We can take example from the Levan versus Ermes match. Which one would you personally like? Best of 7 or 6 round super match?
I believe that 6-round super match is very checked already, like well-known format, so I like it. But if we have 3-3, we have take the extra round in that situation. If we have 3-3, and the guys actually doing this. But also, if you have a lot of arm fights in one night, like in the East versus West, it's also a cool option. Make it a little bit shorter. It's also very, very nice viewable. And it's beautiful for viewers, because remember, if you have 10 arm fights, it's hard to concentrate where, for example, is the main show, if you watch it from the beginning. So for me, I prefer 6-round super matches.
And there was one question about weight cap. Recently, people were discussing, like, if you get too much bigger, there can be health issues like the Levan match. Should there be a weight cap on arm wrestlers? Like, you cannot get bigger than 150 kilos or 160 kilos, something like that. Would you be in favor of that?
I believe that you not need to be not concentrated on the weight, but on your power. If you feel comfortable and durable and very powerful, 160, 170, for example, maybe you can run like American football players or somebody with this mass, that's okay. But if you feel that it's already starts, that not enough cardio, you need to change something. So I believe that everyone has his own perfect body weight, and just he need to check more and less, and after that he will find the golden middle. So I recommend everyone check themselves on their power and just to find the middle. For me, like, if I will be weighed 110 kilos, I'm like a skinny, like a skeleton. I'm like a and I'm too tall to be small.
Yeah. So one question would be, what is one thing that you do not like about arm wrestling fans, videos, matches, anything? One thing that you don't like about arm wrestling and that you would like to change.
Honestly, like for now, I like very much that I'm wrestling growing up. And even we have something, uh, you know, which is not going to support this growing. I also like this because that things which is go versus, they makes the main growing more powerful. But probably if you ask me what I don't like, so maybe I don't like the things which is not helps to arm wrestling to growing up because this sport which I love and honestly I have one thing in my mind if you ask me because of the situation which you already know. So I mean the situation in the war on the territory of Ukraine, which is very sad. And for now, the war makes enemies. The guys who can be the friends, they become enemies. And for me, it's very, very sadly. I think that guys who are responsible for that, they just should understand that that's not the way how the problem need to solve. So that's the sadly. But if we go out from these things, I even don't know what I don't like in arm wrestling. I don't know. I know a lot of things which I like, and really only one thing which I already say to you which I don't like.
Right. So I think, Alex, that's about it. And one final thing, you earlier you mentioned that you have some big plans. Do you want to give some hints, some teasers, like what are the big plans and when we can expect you to see on the table? Expect to see
I
you on
think,
the table.
guys, the summer will be very, very hot. And probably, if organizers will be so much interested, we even will find the official left-handed king of the table. I mean, or king of arm wrestling in the world of arm wrestling. So that's the thing that left-handed matches become more and more interesting, and I'm absolutely happy with that. And absolutely, of course, I want to go come back to take my everything on the rankings now. I like I said, to be an underdog. So now I'm in underdog position. It is my favorite position to go with high motivation and to prove, of course, to myself something, to check my limits, and also to show the good show to the guys. I love when guys love their matches when I participate. So I
Yeah.
will be happy.
Yeah. If you're coming back on the left arm, I think it has to be Morozov. It has to be Morozov. That's my guess.
Yeah, probably yes, probably yes.
Yeah, so that would be an amazing match, man. He'll, for sure, he will not try to top roll you. It will be hook versus top roll, hook versus top roll. Amazing match. Let's see who gets the wins. All right, Alex. Thanks once again, guys. Alex Kurdecha's Instagram will be in the description. His name, his YouTube channel will be tagged in the title and also in the description. Please subscribe. And any final words for the viewers, Alex?
Thank you everyone who watched us. Thank you everyone who love our wrestling. We will do the best because we also love it. Subscribe on the Pradeep channel, on my channel. You can ask everything you want on my Insta. And see you soon, guys.
Yeah.
See you from the point where I will be standing near to the arm wrestling table. So be healthy, be happy, and be strong.
And till now, Alex has been only nice, so calm, so gentle, and hopefully 2023 we will see Alex trash talking with his opponents, destroying them on the table. Thanks, brother.
See you guys. Bye bye.